'Tis the 29th of the 10th, 2024. The time is 10:05, and there are very many F1 threads at which we need to pull this morning. We've got to talk Liam Lawson apologising for giving his teammate, in inverted commas, the finger after a very ding-dong battle between himself and the Mexican Minister of Defence. We've got to talk about Max Verstappen's pace. So too, we've got to talk about the aftermath of Maximilian Verstappen versus Lando Norris, because people are still talking about it. Lewis Hamilton is still laughing at it. George Russell saying that there is divergence as far as which way the FIA need to go as far as the amendment, the iteration of their overtaking rules and guidelines. Now, should we talk to Liam Lawson first? Because it's techie, is it not? Liam Lawson, brand new, fresh in the car and doing bits. Quality drive yet again, and he's steely. Nothing if not ruthless. But as far as a new driver, a rookie coming in, sometimes you've got to temper that right. There is a foster and rapport exercise that Liam Lawson needs to do, a currying favour, because the one thing that Liam does not want to do is pee off his team principal. Please see as your Exhibit A, Helmut Marko, who said of Liam Lawson's exploits, his very good drive, but his ding-dong battle with one Checo Perez, that he needs to be careful. Yes, it's okay to be ruthless. Yes, it is, of course, okay to get your elbows out. This is nothing but F1, surely. However, Liam Lawson, you need to do that to the other drivers, not Red Bull Racing bods. Checo Perez's life is difficult enough as it is. He doesn't need to be competing with more teammates. What are you doing, Liam? Why are you getting your elbows out and crashing another Red Bull Racing driver? Surely that's not the way forward. Liam Lawson had this to say. Obviously, it was one of those heat of the moment things he explained. He is in Checo Perez, spent half the lap blocking me, trying to ruin my race, so I was upset. I had to clap back, and by clap back, Liam Lawson, when he was overtaking, pulled the bird on one Checo Perez, gave him the finger in real time, which is a gangster move reminiscent of Fernando Alonso back in the day at Monaco, reminiscent too of Danny Rick at Monza as well, doing one of these, wasn't he? And it is gangster. I enjoy the fact that he's James Hunt-esque, but Liam Lawson needs to realise that he's got to curry some favour with the higher ups, those who make the decision. Indeed, he's realising that in real time, saying of the incident, of his decision to give Liam Lawson the bird, that's not an excuse. I shouldn't have done it. And for that, Liam Lawson says he apologises. Motorsport.com reports that Liam Lawson's actions, both in being aggressive with Checo Perez and then showing him the finger, did not impress Red Bull Motorsport advisor, Red Bull GmbH, Dr. Helmut Marko. Marko told ORF that it was not a necessary collision. I see Liam Lawson as taking the lion's share of the culpability in that instant. Marko continued, absolutely ruthlessness in F1, I'm here for it, but I would have preferred that be somebody else, not a Red Bull Racing driver, not Checo Perez in the sister team. Helmut Marko not too pleased, and you can anticipate that Christian Horner might not be too pleased either. Footage was released of Christian Horner finishing an interview and going back into the Red Bull hospitality area to have himself a conversation with Liam Lawson in real time. Neither one of those two look too pleased. Liam Lawson, it seems like he's doing a good job, but there is another exercise, a currying favour, a fostering rapport, making sure that he manages the stakeholder, not insubstantial stakeholder of the higher ups at Red Bull, and he needs to manage for that in real time. If indeed he harbours any aspiration of getting a promotion to the big team, the senior team, alongside one Maximilian Verstappen next year. Oh, the humanity. Christian Horner, mind you, when talking about one Checo Perez, again, he says that he's not made a decision yet as far as his future. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? But what he did say is that they're going to support him as at Brazil, potentially no more. And this has given rise to lots of speculation that Danny Rick might be in for a drive. He might be coming back for the final 3 races of the year. Oh, and by the way, if we're talking about Max Verstappen and Lando Norris gate, there has been more developments. Lewis Hamilton said of this previous race weekend, that as soon as he saw plumes of smoke, that he knew 100% that it was going to be something to do with Max Verstappen. Why? Because he cites 2021. He cites the driver briefing where there was only one driver who disagreed with the potential changes to the FIA guidelines as far as overtaking. Lewis Hamilton still has PTSD, doesn't he? And to a certain extent, one can't blame him. 2021 was a very serious season, back and forth each and every single race weekend. Please see as your Exhibit A, Imola. Please see as your Exhibit B, Saudi Arabia. And of course, your Exhibit C as far as Maximilian's aggressive brand of wheel-to-wheel racecraft. Abu Dhabi 2021. Lewis Hamilton chiming in that he knew what was going on. He's read this book before as far as Maximilian Verstappen's racecraft, brand of racecraft. And Lando Norris has chimed in too, hasn't he? But let me give you this first. Christian Horner, what's going on, Michael? William, Chiba, let me give you this first final item on the docket as at the 29th of the 10th, because this Verstappen and Norris gate keeps continuing. It develops in real time and it doesn't get any less techie. Here's what I'll tell you. There was rumour that Christian Horner was going to do as Zach Brown and Andreas Stella did the previous race, that they were going to lodge a protest right to review settings. However, Christian Horner told Fox Sports Australia that that was not the case, that they would leave it in the FIA, in the hands even of the stewards and the race director, and that there would not be a protest. Christian Horner said in real time that he thought of Maximilian Verstappen's moves, that 20 seconds, 2 times 10 as far as a penalty was a bit harsh. It was a bit more techie than that Christian Horner posits. However, Lando Norris differed, didn't he? Comments coming out since where he's been a bit more explicit. Immediately post-race, Lando did one of these. Well, last race at Austin, it wasn't too bad, but this race at Mexico, I think Maximilian Verstappen's overstepped the line. But I've uncovered more comments from one Lando Norris. He said that I want to have a good battle with Max Verstappen. I want to have those tough battles. Like I've seen him have plenty of those in previous instances, but fair ones. He continued, I think today, however, as at the Mexican Grand Prix, that Max Verstappen wasn't fair, it wasn't clean racing, and therefore I think, and here's where it gets techie, ladies and gents, Lando No Wins says, I think Max Verstappen got what he had coming to him. Oh, the humanity. Lando, do you know what I mean? Say how you really mean it, chap. I can't speak for him and maybe he'll say something different, but I think today was a step too far from both of those, and it was clear that the stewards agreed with that. I don't see it as a win or anything like this, but it's more that I hope Max acknowledges that he took it too far. Lando not taking his foot off the loud pedal, is he at all in this? And I don't blame him. Many F1 and Lando Norris fans all around the world have been waiting for this moment. Indeed, you could argue that this sort of stuff, that getting your elbows out both inside the cockpit and outside, is indeed a prerequisite to winning championships, some may say. It's a bit techie, but of that, some say, Maximilian Verstappen fans, that you want to do a cheeky dive into the data. Even F1 guy Dan posits this, that Max Verstappen drive might go unlooked. Only the discerning eyed amongst us will notice that Max Verstappen on his final stint was 1 whole second slower than Lando Norris. Lando was lapping on average on a 120.4. Max Verstappen a 121.4. So who was the biggest loser in that equation? Then you guys tell me. And again, this is testament to those who say that Max Verstappen, not to get on my Max Verstappen horse, stop glazing Max Verstappen, they will say, Cameron CC, what are you doing? But not to get on my Max Verstappen horse. Some will say that Max Verstappen was the biggest winner out of this Mexican Grand Prix equation. That yeah, it was a tactical foul potentially. But where's the gap in the championship? That having had a nightmare race weekend, a car dodgy, a car incapable of winning races and therefore championships, damage limitation was the exercise, was the lot of one Maximilian Verstappen. And in that damage limitation, he only managed to lose 10 points in the driver's standing to one Lando Norris. Ladies and gentlemen, what are we doing?